So in this video today, we're going to talk about what emotional safety is and what you can do starting today to rebuild emotional safety in your relationship to save your relationship before it's too late. Hi everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mindy, and I work with guys to save their relationships by helping them really understand their love communication style in order to save their relationships. And make sure that you stay until the end of the video, because at the end of the video, I'm also going to give techniques of what you can do to start creating emotional safety in your relationship starting today. And I'm going to give you techniques on what you can do in case your relationship is ending and over, ways that you can start repairing that for yourself. All right, so let's begin. So what exactly is emotional safety? Now, emotional safety is a woman's ability to totally be herself. Women are not logical beings as guys are. Guys will look at every situation and it's very clear cut, it's black and white, and you don't really have emotions when it comes to things that you see as black and white. For you guys, 2 + 2 is always 4. That's the result. That's how it is. Now, for a woman, what emotional safety is throughout the month, our hormones, we fluctuate. And when we look at situations, we don't view them in a logical manner. We don't look at it and say, wow, this is black and this is white and this is just how it is. 2 + 2 = 4. For a woman, we might emotionally have a feeling on something that in your eyes is totally irrational. And when it's irrational to you, a lot of guys, which is detrimental to your relationship, and I have to tell you, if you're doing this, you need to stop. You have to stop right now. But a lot of guys, what you guys do is when we're having these emotional feelings, you look at us and you'll be like, oh my God, you're ridiculous. Or you'll say something like, why are you thinking that way? That's so stupid. You're an idiot. You know, you're putting us down, or you're critiquing us, you're criticizing us, and you're just not allowing us to feel safe in our emotional state. And as a woman, we have emotional states that vary based on a lot of things. It could be that we felt that our boss talked to us a certain way at work and it made us feel a certain way when we've really been working our asses off and really been struggling to get a project done. It could be that we're emotional because we came home to a mess and the kids are running around and we're just feeling like crazed in our brain because we're stressed at work, we're stressed at home, and we're just having an emotional feeling, and you just look at us and you say, hey, the kids are running around, it's not a big deal. You need to understand that for women, when all of this is going on, it's chaotic to our brain. And when we start to feel chaotic in our minds, we start to have intense feelings. And what we need from you guys is we need validation. We need you to understand, you know, you guys are really cool and calm and collective over a lot of things. You don't let these things stress you out. But for women, it's a chaotic situation in our head and it creates an emotional state. So when that emotional state is created, now if we start to allow our emotions to get the better of us and we start to express these feelings, or we start to, you know, we start to get angry, or we get hurt, or we get frustrated, or we're showing any type of emotion, you guys are shutting us down rather than validating us. And so that's what's happening in a lot of relationships that are causing women to start to have our love lingo tank depleted. Because what we need from you is we need you to come to us, even if you're thinking that the emotional state that we're in is ridiculous and not needed. It doesn't matter. All we need you to do is turn to us and validate us in the way that's going to emotionally fill our love tank, whether it's through words of encouragement and praise, maybe through affectionate contact, maybe it's through surprising us with something that you know is going to make our day. Maybe it's by saying, hey, taking her into the bedroom or into the den or into a room for 10-15 minutes and just talking with her, just spending time with her, allowing her to calm down and allowing her to let it out. Or maybe ask her what you can do to help her in the situation right now. I just gave 5 ways, which of course are all the love lingo and love jargon ways. You have acts of kindness, you have time, you have affectionate contact, you have presence, and you have words of encouragement and praise. And really, when we're having this emotional breakdown, that's what we need from you guys. So I want to talk about some signs that she's not feeling safe anymore. So if this happens enough in a relationship, over and over and over again, where she's having these emotional feelings and she's not being validated, she starts to not feel emotionally secure and she starts to not feel emotionally safe. And when that happens, she starts to shut down. And shutting down starts with a simple, I'm fine. I know you guys watching this have probably heard every woman in your life say that at some time or another. And I'm sure you guys all know that if we say we're fine, we are not fine, because fine is not the word we use when we are okay. You don't really say I'm fine. You say, yeah, I'm good, I'm okay, I'm happy, I'm sad, whatever it is, you say the word. You never say fine. So if a woman says she's fine and she continues to go about her business, chances are she's not. And that's a sign that she's starting to pull away from you emotionally. Another sign that she's starting to pull away is she stops sharing how she's feeling. So let's say at work, all of a sudden you stop hearing about how work's going. That's a clue to you that she no longer feels emotionally safe discussing her day. Because what you've taught her is if she tells you how her day went, you're going to criticize her and put her down and make her feel not safe in sharing her emotions. So when she stops sharing, that's a big sign that she is emotionally starting to shut down and start to check out of the relationship. Another clear sign that she's starting to emotionally shut down is that she's irritable or she's bitchy all the time. If all of a sudden your girl, who's normally in a nice mood, starts to get irritable, bitchy, short with you, that's a clear sign that she feels that she has to keep how she's feeling inside because she's not feeling heard. The next sign is if conversations turn really cold really fast. So if you are trying to get some type of emotional response out of her and she seems to be stonewalling you, or she starts to just get really icy with you and you're thinking to yourself, like, I don't really think I deserve that, you have to ask yourself, why is she doing this? And then replay some of the scenarios that happened in the last few weeks and ask yourself if you've been validating her when she's coming to you with issues. Because a lot of these signs that I'm telling you about today and that we're talking about, it's a slow progression. This doesn't happen overnight. The fine does. The fine is a clear cut. I'm fine. That's the only one that happens overnight. But the rest of them, that's a very slow progression. And what's happening is her love lingo tank is slowly being depleted based on not being validated in the way that you're showing her love, in your love jargon. You're not filling that love lingo tank. So you're not validating her in the way that she needs to be validated for her to feel safe in the relationship. So like I said, it's a very slow progression. It doesn't happen overnight. And then the last sign is if physical affection starts to feel off or not feel that she's as, or not feel as if she's enjoying it or as into it as she once was. Unfortunately, a lot of women are still pressured into their own minds, feeling that they still have to be intimate with their man because that's their wifely duty. And a lot of women will still do that for a time being, even if they are not emotionally fulfilled. Or maybe they want to get some themselves, but they're just still not feeling that they can fully be safe and fully let go with you. So if the physical intimacy starts to dwindle off or change, and you start to notice that maybe she's not kissing you as much during, or she's not being as sexy with you as she once was, that's a clear sign that she's started to put a wall up around her heart. So that's really what stonewalling is too. Stonewalling is just a defense mechanism. And all it is she's been out there in battle with her heart, feeling that she can tell you how she's feeling about stuff, and you keep hurting her heart. And you keep hitting it with a bat, stomping on it, making it bleed. And so at that point, she's like, you know what? Well, forget this guy. I need to put a wall up now. So she starts building the wall. So stonewalling does not happen overnight. It's literally a defense mechanism that is stone by stone put up around the heart to protect herself. Even if she's stonewalling you, and even if she's feeling all of these ways and starting to emotionally check out, that doesn't mean that she stopped loving you though. She still loves you and she still wants you to be the guy. And that's why she hasn't technically broken up with you yet. So it's not just about how much love she has for you, because you might make her laugh and you might be great to her in so many different ways. But when you stop emotionally allowing her to feel safe, that's when she starts to stonewall and starts to really ask herself if this is the guy for her long term. So it's really important for you guys to understand what you're doing to ensure that you don't keep doing it. So like I said, at the end of the video, we're going to discuss ways that you can make her feel emotionally safe. So we're going to start talking about that right now. So first and foremost, it is through words of encouragement and praise. If she says something to you, immediately validate her. Then affectionate contact, give her a hug, wrap her in a hug, okay, rub her back. And then also at the same time, say, do you want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. Now, right there, by saying, do you want to talk about it and giving her a hug, you haven't told her she's right. How hard is that? How hard is that? And I know my husband has said, you know what? Before I knew all of this, it was pretty hard. So I get it. It is hard for you guys to rise above that logical brain and to be able to enact this in order to be able to have us feel emotionally safe. But that's literally what you have to do. And then what you do is, like I said in the beginning of the video, take her aside, spend some time with her, let her talk it out, let her get it out, let her have all those feelings, and just listen. Just be there for her. Just hear her out and let her vent. Because you being there and putting your phone down, walking away from the chaos of the household, and just giving her one-on-one undivided attention is going to make her feel so safe and so appreciated and so valued that she's going to start to take those rocks of those stones of stonewalling you, and she's going to start taking those down, because you've literally taken her aside to sit her down and just hear her. All right? And then bring her something. Bring her a cup of coffee. Bring her a cup of water. When she's having to tell her, say, hey, hang here for 1 second. I'll be right back. And go and bring her something. Bring her a bag of chips. Bring her a little scoop of ice cream. That's a present that you can give her to have her think, oh, wow, he's thinking of me. Bring her something, even if it's a blanket to wrap her up. Maybe it's cold outside. Bring her something. There is something you can bring her to help her feel better. Trust me on this one. And then the fifth thing, when she's done expressing how she's feeling to you, ask her, is there anything I can do to help you right now? Anything you need done around the house? How can I help? How can I pitch in to help you feel better about what's going on? Validate her through all of the ways it's possible to fill her love lingo tank. Speak the love jargon that's going to fill her love lingo tank, and that is how you are going to emotionally fulfill her. That's how you're going to start refilling that love tank, where she's not running on fumes. She doesn't feel that she has to build this little stone wall around her heart, because she's going to say to herself, wow, he really gets me. He gets me. Because it's not about being right or wrong. It's about being heard. And that's what you guys really have to understand. That's the difference. It's not about right, not about wrong. It's about being heard, and it's about validation. So those are the things that you can do if you're still in the relationship and trying to repair it when you're in the relationship. So let's say you're in a situation where you've broken up and you don't have the ability to do that anymore. You can still create emotional safety by asking yourself, what were the things that she was asking you for before you broke up? And then take initiative on some of those things. It could be something like the kids have a dentist appointment and she was going to take them. It's rearranging your schedule, reaching out to her and saying, hey, I ended up being able to take the kids to the dentist that day. Did you still need help with that? Little things like that are what are going to make her feel emotionally safe. Like, oh, he's helping me out again. This is great. Little things like that you can do. All right, so those are the things that you can do to repair emotional safety. So everyone, I hope you really liked the video. If you did like the video, please hit the like button and definitely subscribe. This way you're able to watch more videos. As always, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Stay happy, stay healthy, and stay in love.